Welcome to the official Eurovillage podcast series, hosted by Rotterdamse Nieuwe, live from het Nieuwe Instituut. Give a warm welcome to your hosts, Pim Roggeveen and Priscilla Schrier.
Welcome to the official Eurovillage podcast. Happy to be here. Sun has just started shining on this inspiring location. Priscilla, I'm very happy to see you again here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Dearest colleague.
Yes, sure.
Very excited for this episode because we're here with two very, very special guests.
Amazing guests.
First of all, I'm very happy to announce William Lee Adams. Thank you for being here. Thank you for having the time to make it to the show. You're one of the biggest Eurovision blogger in the world. How is it for you to be here right now?
Well, thank you so much for that warm welcome. You know, after this awful year, it is so nice to finally be here, to hashtag open up and see old friends and make new friends, to be in Rotterdam after 2 years of waiting. You know, we've been Googling every day what to do, what to see, and now we can do it.
Amazing. And on my side, Renske, always a pleasure to see you again. Godmother of Rotterdamse Nieuwe and now director of Rotterdam Festivals. Must be a special event for you, of course. You started last year as a director of Rotterdam Festivals. Lots of changes, of course, also in the city. For you, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think about Eurovision?
Oh, it's such a big festival, the biggest music festival in the world. So I'm so honored that we are host city and that it's finally happening. We made 2 years of a lot of work and preparation, and now finally it's open up. So that's great.
Literally open up.
Yeah,
has a different meaning. The slogan as well. William, the words are coming too short to describe your background, what you have done, working for Time Magazine, now working for the BBC. Providing the 12 points also on TV, which is must be an honor. Can you tell us more about how must that be?
Oh, you know, it's just crazy to me, actually. When I started Wee Blogs in 2009, there was no plan. I just saw this strange contest, Eurovision, on TV, and I said, what is this? You know, I'm American, so I was new to Europe.
Oh, crazy.
And it was like this jewelry box I was opening, and every time I pulled a drawer out, there was a new gem, a new necklace, a new ring, and it was just constant discovery. And to go from that, sitting alone in my bedroom, typing late at night, you know, in my free hours after work, to getting to travel Europe and go to places I would never go, you know, Moldova, Azerbaijan, Armenia, all these different places through Eurovision. It makes me very emotional, actually, because, you know, as a kid, I just wanted to travel, but we didn't have the means. I never left the United States until I was 18. And then when I moved here and discovered Eurovision, suddenly the world really was an oyster and I could eat.
Amazing.
Crazy. Opening up is already from the beginning for you.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. We mainly had people from Rotterdam in the show, local players in the industry who helped create Rotterdam, or Eurovision in Rotterdam. It's your first time in Rotterdam, I believe.
So I came last year, actually, before the pandemic started, and it filled me with so much enthusiasm. I was like, we're going to be here in a few weeks. And then, of course, everything changed so quickly. And I kind of had to put those memories to the side, not knowing if we'd actually get to come back. So yeah, it's like a rediscovery this time, you know? Because last time it was fabulous, my goodness. It opened my eyes to the Netherlands in a new way, because we mostly focus on Amsterdam abroad. You know, from when you're a kid, you know, New York is New Amsterdam. So you grow up with this. But then to come to Rotterdam and see a vibrant city, a big city, built with, I don't know, people from all over the world, Chinese dock workers and immigrants from just everywhere. I didn't know all that. And it's, again, quite beautiful. And I see why Open Up is the perfect theme. We read that this was bombed during the wars. It was destroyed, and you've rebuilt. Like Conchita Wurst, you rose like a phoenix.
Yeah, literally. Yeah,
we're ready to sing along, y'all. It's just so, I feel so emotional sitting here talking about this, and I don't know why, but there's something about the vibe, about rebuilding, rebirth. I feel it. And post-pandemic, Rotterdam's a good symbol of that.
Oh, great.
Amazing.
Great. Yeah,
wow.
Great to hear, because we feel the same, but it's really great to hear it from the outside.
Someone outside of the bubble,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Yeah.
So
Make it
you
happen.
went on the water taxi.
Oh.
Promoted the water taxi.
Ooh, it was a bumpy ride. I'm sure y'all can stand there, hold a cup of tea, balance a plate.
So it's actually really
We're more experienced. Yeah.
But we're screaming like, are we going to come out of this alive?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Amazing.
It's a great ride, eh? And
Was
with the backdrop, and yeah, I love it. I really love it. Sometimes I take the water taxi just for fun, just to have some excitement and those energy
our
from
own
the
tourist,
water.
eh?
Yeah.
So Renske, you started at Rotterdam festivals during COVID.
Yes.
That's a crazy time to start a position like that.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
Yeah, when I started, of course, I had 1 or 2 nights like, really, do I have to start a festival organization in COVID times? But I said, no, of course, now I go, there's some leadership necessary, and we have to get through this. And I see it as an opportunity to maybe to rethink, redesign what festivals and events can mean for the city. So yeah, but it is a challenge. And my team, I have a lot of respect for them because they have all those entrepreneurs and organizations like my festival, my event, my museum, or it cannot happening and it's cancelled. So it was really a hard time.
Yeah.
But we always look to what we can do. So we did some alternatives and of course some online events, and that was also an innovation and an event, how to organize an online festival and have those experiences. So yeah, it is a roller coaster. Yeah.
Because you're the director of Rotterdam Festivals. So must be a lot of listeners or viewers who might think, Rotterdam Festivals, what is that? Can you give a little bit more background information about Rotterdam Festival?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, Rotterdam Festivals is an organization that is responsible for all the festivities and outdoor events in Rotterdam. It's like more than 160 events annual.
Wow. Yeah.
And we do all the cultural marketing for the city. So everything that's going on in the new depot, what's next to us, or here in het Nieuwe Instituut. We tell everybody who wants to hear what beautiful cultural events are here in the city.
And what is the role what's your role during the Eurovision? What's the main goal for Rotterdam Festival?
Yeah, I'm responsible for the Eurovision Village,
which we're in right now.
Yeah,
virtually.
So virtually. So before the pandemic, we want to organize a Eurovision Village at the Binnenrotte, next to the market hall and the cubic houses, and it's an official side event. All you know. But now it's the physical events cannot get through. So we said a few months ago, we really have to make this happen. We don't want to disappoint the fans and all the music lovers. So we said, okay, if the world cannot come to Rotterdam, then we bring Rotterdam and the Eurovision Song Contest to the world. So that's why we built this virtual world.
That's amazing.
Because there's 60. We're on the date of recording this podcast. We're 16 days until Eurovision. Yeah. But now we're in the midst of it, right? Can you tell us a bit more about the Eurovillage? What we're seeing, what we're experiencing?
I hope the visitors really love it. I do love it. It's a 3D virtual world of the city of Rotterdam with the highlights, the iconic highlights. So the depot where we're next to is also in the village, and you can discover the highlights of the city. But of course, we have a real festival terrain with the Tower of Power with a great screen, and in those screens there are performing live performances with artists like Johnny Logan is coming, the junior artist, the Junior Song Festival Song Contest artist, and Afrojack. So
that's amazing.
Afrojack is one of our main artists. But the coming days, so when you're on the platform, when we hear this, you have a lot more content that you can discover at the village.
How do you experience like this hybrid version of online, offline? I mean, we're forced to do it like this, but I think it has silver linings, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think the biggest advantage is it democratizes everything. So in the past, the only people who could go to Eurovision Village were people who could afford to travel to the host city. And if you live abroad, that's not always an option. But this makes it available to the whole world. So suddenly people who want to go to Eurovision but can't, they can. So I think it helps the Eurovision brand. I think it helps Rotterdam because people will discover the city and they'll say, ooh, maybe I'll go there once I can go on holiday again. It's just actually a really innovative idea. It's making the best of a bad situation. However, maybe in the long run, this is a good situation because people will copy this. People will want to repeat this.
Yeah.
I hope. And yesterday we had a press conference, and Martin Oosterdaal give a talk to us by video, and he said maybe this is the next thing for the coming festivals. So that would be great. That we set the standard for the next cities and the next festival. So
Rotterdam is benchmarking the Eurovision.
Wow.
2021.
Always innovative. Yeah.
Right. William, you've spoken to all the artists the past few weeks. Can you share a bit more of how it is to talk to all the artists that are representing their countries?
You know, the biggest insight I have, I think, is that the on-stage persona is often very different from the real person. So, for instance, Poland, on stage, he portrays this man, very cool, very hip, sunglasses, stay away from me, I'm too cool. But in real life, he's a sweetheart. You just want to hug him. He's just so emotional and warm. And he recently broke up with his fiancée of 8 years. And he's been on a ride, he said. And he's very, very torn up about it. But he's going to push through and come to Eurovision and rebuild. And hashtag open up. And
everybody's in theme. Crazy.
Absolutely.
Crazy, yeah.
The most emotional interview, though, was definitely Tix from Norway. He lives with Tourette syndrome. And he talked about being bullied brutally as a child, kids in school shoving him, pouring water on him. And he turned that ugly experience into like armor. He created a costume, you know, big glasses, a big coat to look glamorous. And
Wings.
it's his shield.
Yes.
And now he is flying with that shield. For me, I sound so cheesy, but I always love that kind of personal human moment. The song is wonderful, yes. But when you know what's behind the song, it becomes a soap opera. It becomes a movie. It becomes a feeling. And that's why I'm here. The music is wonderful, but I want those emotions, y'all.
Is it a potential winner?
I think the staging is perhaps a bit divisive. Some will love, some will say, what? But you know, kids love Wings and kids vote. We always forget about the children, but the children watch Eurovision and they love it. So I don't think it's the winner, but I think it'll do better than people think.
Amazing. What do you think of the Netherlands, the song, the performer?
This, for me, is not a pop song. This is not a radio song. This is something special and unique that only Jean-Guy Mocroy could do.
Yep.
A lot of people outside of the Netherlands aren't familiar with the Suriname-Dutch relationship, and I think he's an ambassador, you know, discussing important history, sometimes difficult history, but giving it a beautiful spin, saying, the Netherlands has accepted me and embraced me, and now I'm building a career here. So you get to learn about all these other aspects, not just about Jean-Guy, but of this situation in history. The song reminds me of a musical from the 60s. You know, when people were smoking marijuana, Woodstock, hippie, you know. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius.
Some gospel.
It's very different, and it's brave. It's very brave.
Yeah,
it is.
I do have a lot of respect for Jean-Guy because these teams are really heavy maybe for some people. So I really love it. Yeah.
What do you think of the song, Renske?
Yeah, well, I totally agree with William because I think it's really brave and really, you feel the emotion. He really tells a story. So yeah, that's great.
What's also unique about this edition is that the participating countries treated us not only one but two songs, right? Because they had the songs from last year, which we got cancelled, and now we have the ones from this year. Personally, for me, I was a big fan of Iceland last year, this year as well, but a bit less. What do you think is how does it involve, or what's the effect of the two songs on this year's contest, you think?
It's a really good question. I think the first point is broadly, we should remember that people who vote the night of Eurovision, most of them have never heard the songs because most of them are just casual viewers at a party or in the past at a bar. And so it's just what they respond to and they don't remember last year. However, for all of us at this table who love us some Eurovision, it's a different story. And it does matter, particularly in the semifinals, because fewer people are voting. It's more the really big fans, and they do remember. Some artists, they kind of dodged a bullet. They are better now. Greece, the best example, the Dutch singer Stefania,
Yeah.
her song this year is excellent. This is a contender for top 5. Last year, maybe not. So, she's
Yeah.
quite lucky. She's matured, because when you go from 17 to 18, that's a big difference, in your ability to perform, your confidence, all of it. Iceland, though, I take your point. I think it went in the other direction for many people. Oi, oi, oi. I'm getting stressed thinking about it.
Great.
We'll see. Renske, we're as an organization, you're trying to make the most out of this edition, also to show off Rotterdam, to show off the role Rotterdam festivals can play in events. How do you make the most out of a hybrid event? What are the most important elements for you as a new director as well? Because you have had experience, of course, but this is also new for you, I can imagine.
For everyone, yeah.
Yeah, for everyone. And it was, for the experience, it was good that I also was last year in the team. So that's will take sense. And for Rotterdam, that of course we want to give a warm welcome to everybody. Everybody is welcome in Rotterdam. So and especially our honored guests, the artists, the delegations, and people like you, William, and also the visitors that are interested in our city, in the city vibe or in the festival. And but we also said this festival has to be a success for our inhabitants, for the Rotterdam people. They have to be proud that we're hosting this great event. So what we did is make a city program, especially for the local people. And even in this challenging times, we have a lot of going on. So for a few things to mention, we have a big building that's a living jukebox. We packed it, and we have songs. If you passing by and you dial number, you get a former Eurovision song. Great. And we have dancing stoplights.
Traffic lights.
Sorry.
No worries. Waterloo.
Waterloo. With that is great with the dancing images.
Yeah.
And of course, the city dressing that you see also behind us, from Ahoy to back to the central station, 6 kilometers of big city dressing, and it's all from artists. They're also here in the
Vollaars Zwart, we have here.
Big shout out to them because they made it happen. So that's we want us to the world. I hope they see that we even in these challenging times, we are still making this happen and give a warm welcome to everybody. And maybe later, so one of my colleagues, Kim, she said, "Dance now, travel later." So I think that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah.
Also a question for for you, William. Did you ever see an edition of Eurovision where the city is as dressed as this?
I would say that in the past, people have been ready for a good night out. They look good. But this year, we're ready for the ball. This is Cinderella. Rotterdam has scrubbed up so nicely. It was so interesting to hear you talk about... It was so interesting to hear you talk about the ABBA music coming out of the stoplight, the traffic light. One of my Dutch teammates, she put up an Instagram video of that, and it was our most popular post on Instagram in the past week. People were so taken by this, and it's just, it gets you in that party mood. You're like, whoa, I'm near the Ahoy. Whoa, I'm near Eurovision. Whoa, we're at ground zero. It was just, such a good idea. So well done to you.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we do it together as a host city partner. So that's also what I think is great, that we all combine our expertise and all our knowledge to make for all these aspects success for the festival and for the city.
And I think it impacts the people who live here. I came off the Eurostar yesterday, and I heard someone calling my name, and I was like, I'm very tired. Am I hallucinating? And it was a woman with her 2 children, and they had seen on Instagram I was on the Eurostar coming here, and they just wanted to say hello and welcome me to Rotterdam.
Really?
And and they had Dutch orange T-shirts and cheese. And then I left the turnstile to leave the station, and they were carrying my bags, and I was like, oh, please don't worry, don't worry. And then another man appears, and he says, William, I'm here to pick you up. And I said, I'm sorry? And I thought he was from the hotel. But he said, no, I saw you on Instagram, we're coming here. And so then he drove me to the hotel.
No
Yeah,
way.
normally I don't get in the cars with strangers. However,
You trusted this guy.
yeah, because he had on Eurovision, it was the scarf that we're wearing. He had a
Okay.
branded
Okay,
scarf.
yeah.
Because people love this open up artwork you have everywhere. And so it really does get into people's blood. Like, they're here to welcome the world. And I was so lucky to be one of the people welcomed.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's
Amazing.
real Rotterdam hospitality. So,
Right
yeah.
there.
Thank you.
We're also Eurovision is a song contest, so we have winners and we have losers. We all want to know, what do you think is going to be a potential winner for this year? You have seen so many Eurovision contests. You have so much history in your mind. What do the bookies say, and what do you say?
Spill the gossip.
Drama.
So this year is so special, and people are always going to remember 2021. One reason is obviously because of the pandemic, the audience has to be different. It's smaller. So does that mean a party song will struggle to do well because you don't see as many people partying? Could that be the advantage of an emotional song where you don't need an audience? So if we assume that that plays a role, I think France will win. I think France, you don't want to see people. You want to see her alone. You want to see the darkness, her beautiful voice in this emotional ballad. It's just perfection, actually. The stage show is so perfect. She's singing about, I want to step out of the shadows and into the light. Please embrace me. That's all she wants, you to listen to her story. And you feel the emotion. I keep using the E word, emotion. Pass the tissues, y'all.
But do you think Duncan started a bit of a trend because he had also an emotional song?
Yeah.
He was so classy, so tasteful. And I think it reminded people that simplicity can win. You just need a real emotion.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Because through a TV, even if you're on the other side of the world in Australia, you feel it. It's like in cinema, the theater,
It's
when
real
the pain is
authentic, eh?
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Duncan was real.
Yeah.
And Barbara from France, she is in.
Ah, great. Yeah.
Any other candidates that could have a high? What do you think of our candidate?
So I don't think the Netherlands will win. And I worry, actually, that maybe the song is too out there.
Yeah.
But I think for him, it's different. It's not about winning in the traditional sense. It's about showcasing his art, his culture, his message. So he's already won in that sense.
Yeah.
And also, let's be real. The host country doesn't win twice in a row. It doesn't happen. Not
Didn't
like
it
me
happen
anyway.
in Israel, right? Once,
A long time ago.
long time
We're
ago.
in a new day, honey.
Okay.
New vibes.
But Malta as well. You know, because
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
we like happy songs, if Europe wants to party, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And she can
She's
sing.
also a great personality. I love her.
I was like, I heard the UK song as well. I was like, this is so like cheesy dance music, but I love it.
Thank you so much for saying that. Because we struggle. And I do think it's a step up for us
Yeah?
from the past. So I'm very proud of their team. I think it's a good song. But, you know, you only vote for one or two songs on the night.
Yeah.
So it may be your 6th or 7th favorite, but you're not going to get any love. So it may look bad on the scoreboard, but I think the song will have more love than shows, if that makes sense.
Makes very much sense. Renske, there's also an after Eurovision. You might not think it right now, but
No, we are
eventually
thinking
the
already.
event
Yeah.
will end. What is the thing that you want to leave behind as an organization? What is the thing
The legacy.
the legacy? Thank you.
Legacy.
That's the word.
Yeah, that the world see us as an innovative, warm welcome city. And of course, this was the most challenging in this most challenging times and this most challenging event. I think we, how do you say, we show the world that we can do everything.
Yeah.
So I hope, of course, I dream about the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
I was
Big
a
dreams.
child. Yeah, I was a small child and said, I want to work for the Olympic Games. So I hope that this is the next thing going to happen.
Amazing.
Yeah, in a few years. That would be great. But of course, also smaller things and nice things. But there has to be fit in our DNA. That's what I really think. We don't want to organize everything, but one special events that really connects our DNA to our city.
Can we look forward to something this summer post-COVID? Can we get
Of
excited
course,
a little
of
bit?
course.
Some
yeah.
teasers,
Some
maybe.
teasers,
Yeah.
maybe.
Oh,
Asking for
teasers.
myself again, not for a friend.
We have the first. I think the first that's in the city is the North Sea Round Town.
Yeah.
So the jazz festival that's all
Yes.
over. Yeah, it's
You
great.
have to come for everything.
And the beginning of July, we have the Art Week. That's also everything is about art, and we have great exhibitions. And one of the biggest thing I think that can be with more public is the World Port Days. So everything about the port is here in the city. So that was also great. And we have to see when the time is right that we can have a big festival on the Binnenrotte again with 30,000 people shoulder to
Amazing.
shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
it. But,
definitely.
also the smaller things and the more events in the community that are great. Yeah.
Looking forward to that. William, will you be there also at the Ahoy Arena this year?
So I'll be in the press center every day for 2 weeks doing interviews, doing rehearsals. You know, before it was boot camp. Now we're in the war, and it is time to charge. So we are ready to go.
Yeah.
And then as for the actual show, I don't know if I'll go to the final, but Moroccan Oil has kindly given me a ticket. But we'll see.
We'll see.
Amazing. It's going to be hard work for you this coming weeks.
Oh, you know,
enjoy.
afterwards my body's just dead, and I have to rebuild.
The ghost leaves the
Me
body.
too.
Yeah.
We have to have some oxygen to get to real life. Yeah.
But to quote Jean Gu, you know man broco me, you can't break me.
Amazing.
Drops are right here. I love this. You've been 2 weeks in the press center. Did you order a second plane for all your outfits, or?
I like to wear a pink W, so I have a very simple wardrobe. So yeah, look for it. It's bright pink. You can't miss it. I wear it every day. I do wash it, and I have multiple. It's not the same one. I have this 20
You can
times.
ask Kevin. I have one more question about Eurovision is usually related to the LGBTQ community, in my opinion. I'm a bit less expert like you, but is it still like that, or is it still important festival for the community?
There's definitely a connection between Eurovision and LGBTQ fans, and I think that's born of just feeling different. And so often people see on the stage, sometimes for the very first time, someone who portrays something in them, whether they're singing about heartbreak or pain, or whether they're a little flamboyant and have a little bit of a sparkle. And, you know, I've talked to people who say when they were teenagers, it was the first time they saw someone like them who was a little bit different. And that applies to everyone, not just gay people. I think for me, people always ask me, why do you love Eurovision? And yes, I like the music, but it's almost a sense of sort of otherness and feeling connected. Like, my mother is Vietnamese, but everyone assumes I'm white. So my whole life, everyone was like, oh, you're not. The white people were like, oh, you're white. And Vietnamese people were like, oh, you're white. But I can never be what I was, which was both. And, you know, when your mother is...
I hear you.
Yeah.
Are you also mixed race?
Yeah.
Girl, I thought you were a pretty girl.
All good.
But also, I have a disabled brother who can't walk or talk, and so I was his caretaker, and people would harass me. And then I came out when I was very young.
Wow.
So at every angle, it was always like, you can't be what you want to be, and you're different. But in Eurovision, I found people who were different. They were from all over
Amazing.
Europe, and we all loved the same thing.
Yeah.
And now the tears are coming, so I'm going to stop.
Yeah.
God damn. Emotional is the key word here. Thank you for sharing this personal story so much. Before we finish up this amazing conversation, thank you both. I'm going to ask one last hard question. I'm going to start with you, Renske. What is your all-time favorite Eurovision song?
Oh, that is J'aime J'aime la vie.
J'aime J'aime la vie. It's right there as well. So it's
And
in your head right now.
Yeah, it's in my head, and it was the first song that I really connect to when I was young. And I have two, of course, Arcade, because if Duncan didn't win, then we don't. We didn't sit here. So I have two favorite songs.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Thank you, William.
Oh, it's so hard.
Can
I'm
imagine.
Gonna say, fuego, boom, 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 boom.
Which year is this?
This is 2018.
2018.
That year was intense because Toy, the winner, was amazing. Fuego, the runner-up, was amazing. You had two big radio hits that year.
Yeah.
That's very rare. It was beautiful to watch. But I love so many songs. It's hard to pick.
I think the song you love the most now is the Swing Along. Can you do a little...
Oh yeah.
Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. Making the move. Rotterdam. Lead or Rotterdam.
Do we have this? Okay. Love this. Thank you, William.
I love this.
Thank you so much for joining this official Eurovillage podcast. I wish you a lot of fun. I wish you the best of luck now and during your future careers. And I'm so grateful and happy to have you on this great podcast. Thank you.
Oh, dank u wel. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
Thank you for having us.
Priscilla, thank you again.
Yes.
And I'll see you soon.
Pleasure, definitely. Tot snel.
Bye-bye.
Doei.
Yay!
Did you enjoy this show? Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends and family. Open up to Rotterdam.